What's up, guys? Today I actually had a couple people message me about a couple things I wanted to bring up and just see if I could just go ahead and take care of this now rather than have somebody message me here in a couple days asking me the same question, right? So what are they asking me? Hey man, I've kind of been watching some of your stuff and seeing what you've been posting on Instagram, and I kind of want to start trying to get into a little bit of that, or I want to lose a little bit of weight and I just haven't. I don't know how. I don't even know where to start. That's like the most common thing somebody says is, I just don't even know where to start. Which is pretty typical, especially if you're somebody that hasn't really had much of an athletic background or, whatever it is, and you're just now wanting to get into it. It's pretty common to not know exactly where to start. So I have 3 tips here I wanted to share with everybody that can get you at least going and get you started in the right direction, right? The first thing you really need to look at is what your goal is, okay? Do you want to be super lean? Are you trying to put muscle on? Are you just trying to lose, a little bit of extra weight that you have so that you can look better in your clothes, which is a pretty common thing. Most people just want to look better in their clothes and they want to feel better. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want, right? To feel better. And as long as you know where you want to be, we can help get you there. So evaluate where you want to be. Once you know where you want to be and it's somewhere that is maintainable, right? Now we can go to step 2. Step 2 is let's analyze what we're actually doing on a daily basis. So first off, are you working, right? Are you working in an office, or are you doing things that kind of involve a little bit more movement, right? For instance, I'm a mechanic, right? So I'm up the better part of the day walking around, doing things, sweating. So my maintenance calories is going to be a lot different than somebody who maybe sits in an office all day, exactly get that same exercise that somebody with a more active job gets, right? The reason this is important, right, is because we're both going to have different maintenance calories moving forward. And be honest with yourself, what do you do on a daily basis? You go sit in an office and work 8 hours a day and then come home and watch TV? Or are you working 8 hours a day, coming home, walking your dog? Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. That way that can help me or help anybody that you're asking help you reach your goals, right? Because if you're telling people that you're being more active than you are, well, we're going to set your maintenance calories up at a different place, maybe higher than it needs to be, when realistically, if we just set them up lower and you kind of kept the same lifestyle habits, we wouldn't have to make those adjustments, right? So be honest with yourself and figure out what it is you're really doing every day. If you're sitting in an office 8 hours a day, coming home and lightly exercising maybe every night, maybe you're doing it in the morning, well, that's good. We can work on that. We can get your maintenance calories where you need to be, okay? So now that we've got your calories set up and figured out, we can move forward from there, right? The most important thing when you're looking at calories is if you're trying to lose weight, right, you have to have a caloric deficit, okay? It's extremely important because you want to burn more calories throughout the day than you're taking in. If you're burning 2,500 calories in a day, right, but you're bringing in 3,300, well, you're not going to see any kind of weight loss, definitely. You're only going to see weight gain. You're going to see fat gain, because what it's going to do is it's going to take all that stuff you didn't burn, and what it doesn't, excrete, it's going to store up for you. So we got to find your caloric deficit, right? Think about it like this. If you're burning 2,400 calories and you're only taking in 1,900 calories, which is extremely low, but in theory, at that point now your body has to figure out, well, I have energy I need to spend, but I don't have anywhere to get it from. So what it's going to do is it's going to target that fat that you have already in your body. And now I know what you're thinking. Well, isn't it going to come after my muscle too? Yes, it is going to come after your muscle too. Anybody who knows anything about bodybuilding knows that part of bulking up is expecting that when you lean out, you're going to lose some of that muscle. Most of it is going to come from your fat, right? But it is going to target some of that muscle and eat from that, right? But that's okay, because you're going to be exercising, right? You're going to be building some of that, breaking down that muscle and rebuilding it as you go anyways. So don't worry too much about losing muscle if your goal here is to lean out, okay? Eating a caloric deficit and moving on from that every day, practicing the same good habits, that's going to lead to weight loss right there. Without any exercise at all, just figuring out where your deficit is and sticking to that deficit, you're going to see dramatic weight loss. The last thing, the most important thing, and I hope you're listening to this, is you're not going to see the results you want immediately. I know that's heartbreaking to hear. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but you're not going to see that 15 pounds or 20 pounds or however many pounds it is that you're trying to lose fall off you in the first month. It's just, it's not feasible, right? Your metabolism is what it's at now, and you're basically asking for it to increase instantly. You can't do that. You've got to build your body back up to getting used to burning calories more than it usually does, and it's taking in less calories than it usually does. And once your body gets adjusted to this, at that point, that's when your metabolic state becomes more balanced, right? And you start losing more of that fat, and it does take time, okay? So one thing that happens with people is they go to the gym for 3-4 weeks, right? And they're not seeing the results that they want to see, and they give up. When really, if they just would have kept that same, pattern going a few more weeks, they would have seen results start pouring in. Because you got to understand, you got to get past the water weight. Your body has to adjust. Your metabolism has to pick back up. And on top of that, it just takes time to change your body, right? So if you're willing to give that time up and really stick to it, I promise you, you will see the results you're wanting to get. Other than that, I hope everyone's week's going well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out through DM. I do appreciate you for checking out this video. Give me a like, a subscribe. Super appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week, and as always, be great at everything you do. Have a good night.